Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Brand Builder TV, where we want to share with you how to rise above the noise in your industry in 2020, not 2004. Big difference. I'm excited for this episode. This gentleman actually got referred to us from another guest. And on top of that, I'm personally really interested in his TV shows and his producing and the things that he got into on that end and that niche, especially with what we're doing with the pit crew. So there's a little personal interest as well on this show for me. Let me introduce you to Brandon T. Adams, keynote speaker, over 200 events, Emmy Award-winning producer, host and producer of 3 TV shows, building real estate agents brand. So that being said, Brandon, give us that 30,000 foot view, man. Who you are, where you came from, where you see yourself going.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and excited to jump in. Yeah, I looking at the bio, you see a bio of everything. I was just doing a video earlier on how a lot of people make mistakes for their social media profiles. They don't show who they are and what they do, and what happens is they lose out on opportunity. It just blows my mind. As you know, we're in a digital world. Like, we connected digitally, and on social media, like, that's a persona. Like, what people see of you is what they think of you, and that's what ultimately leads to the opportunity to work together. And I mean, go back in time. So, like, I'm big online. I've done a lot of videos and created shows and stuff, but I'm from a town of 700 people in Iowa. I'm from a town of nowhere, Garnerville, Iowa, and I started working out in the ice business. I sold packaged ice. So I sold frozen water for a living. And so, like, I got to see what it was like in the brick and mortar side of business, like working in a tangible business. And you see the online side, because there's some of these influencers, it's like, okay, they make their money online, but they've never actually done the real work. And yes, I'm sure you've been there. Like, I've done the real work. I've done the shit jobs. I paid my rent. I've done the work there. So I grew up in Iowa, got in the ice business. In college, I somehow got through college. I got a 1.68 GPA my freshman year, about dropped out. I think what really saved me and led me to staying through college was I read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And that book changed my thought process. It made me realize that anything's possible if you put your mind to it. And not just put your mind to it and think towards it, but it's actually taking the action towards it and not really giving a fuck what other people think in the process. I think that's the biggest thing. So many people care what others think, and they'll go tell their ideas or their goals to their sometimes friends or family, and they get shut down because they're like trying to look out for them, right? But, you know, I guess I figured out I'm going to go after things in life and do what I want and go forward with it. So where I got my first chance to really get in front of the camera in real time for creating a show was in 2016. A guy by the name of Greg Roulette, he came to me, and at that time I was a crowdfunding expert. I've raised millions of dollars for different companies. And he said, hey, you help me raise money for this show, I'll make you my co-host. And like, I was in, like, I'm like, yeah, because I was doing like Facebook Lives, I was doing videos, I had some videographers that filmed with me, but I didn't have like a real ass show. And so what happened is I took that opportunity up, and we went forward, and that was my first TV show I did. It's called Ambitious Adventures. Got on Amazon Prime. We were on the Entrepreneur Network. We did have an Emmy nomination. We didn't win the Emmy Award, which really pissed me off, but that's what led me to go win one. So that's how I got into TV. So I went on to do 2 more TV shows. And why I love video so much, and I love the power of TV shows, is storytelling.
Yes.
So podcasting, people would go on and we share stories. And as a podcaster myself, like, I love that. I love learning from people, hearing their story. But what takes it to the next level, which I love that you do, is video, is when you create a video and people can see, there's a lot of communication that happens with your eyes, with your body movement, with your gestures and everything else. Like, that in itself is huge. But in terms of TV shows and storytelling, when you can create a piece of video content that empowers somebody, that motivates them, that engages them, and gets them to go do something, calls to action, that's what I love about video. That's what I love about TV shows. And I learned that after doing all these shows, I saw that if you can tell a great story, you can do anything. You can create movements. You can sell products. You can sell your services. You can make money. You can raise money for great causes. And so ever since I went through all that, I realized that video is my thing. I love communication. I do it through different mediums, through my books and speaking, all that. But the best medium I know, for now at least, is through this, a video. And so I've went all in since, and that's where I'm at today.
Love it, man. I'm 1000% behind. I won't even do a podcast on just audio now. I'm just not interested. It doesn't keep my attention. And so 1000% about that. And then we can also add another thing to that list that you talked about. That's actually the first thing on your bio, which is keynotes, right?
Yeah.
When you could, physical, what I love about today's world is being able to leverage both the physical and the digital stages, right? And marry the both of them. Because for me,
exactly.
Oh man, for me getting on stage, I already got the chills. When I hear that intro, right? To get on a physical stage, it's just like boom.
Feels
man.
good, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like a drug, but better.
It is. Nothing like it for me. But yeah, where we're at today, video, and think about this. Look at TikTok, right? It's just, it's just exploding. But yeah, 1000%. So when you started to move in this direction before 2016, was TV on your radar? Was that a focus of yours?
So my first video I did that actually I put on Facebook, and I was utilizing it for it was a competition, was in 2013. So I did my first video then, and then in 2014, early 2014, I got in a couple morning shows and in front of the camera, and I realized how much I liked it. And so as soon as I realized that, I called up and I got a local agency. This was in Des Moines, Iowa, to represent me as a model actor. Mm-hmm. So, and because I'm not an actor or anything, but I wanted to get comfortable doing it. So I started doing these modeling, acting gigs. I got in commercials and stuff, and it didn't pay a lot, but I was learning. And then after doing that, I started creating my own videos. So this is 2014. And so creating a lot of videos, doing all these different things. And then 2015 came around, and I loved it so much, so I kept doing it. So in 2015, I launched my podcast show, and I've done over 400 episodes since. But when I started doing the podcasting, I would do in-person interviews, mm-hmm. and I would have the mic set up, but I would also film it. So I was always utilizing video in different ways. I loved it, and I wanted to keep getting better. And then where I took the next step is I found a local videographer, and he started filming with me, and he could edit and stuff. So we created cool videos, and then he actually went to help me. He's been a part of a couple of our TV shows. But I didn't always know, but I'll tell you, when I first saw the power of video, when I saw what it could do for me, for helping me monetarily and also with helping support causes, I knew I'd want to do more of it. So I just kept doing it. And now it's a part of my routine. My whole thing is I'll create at least one video a day, every single day, and with my phone mainly. But I have the high-end content, and we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on our TV shows. But a lot of my stuff, and for most people, it's with their phone. Literally pull out their phone. I have iPhone 11, create a video, publish on social media, and you can reach a lot of people in a short period of time.
Love it, man. And that's exactly, and the power of podcast, whether it's your own or other people's or a combination. Yeah. And the other thing that I've learned over the years, and I had a show called Monster Motivator TV for about a year and a half, and we did almost 80 episodes. But we would actually come to you, or you come to my studio in Southern California, right? Nice. And I loved that in person. We want to relaunch that. That's part of the goal, to relaunch Monster Motivator TV. But I want you to share with people as well, because they're looking at me and you, and we both are telling them, look, we love this platform, right? This is our oxygen. But there's also a lot of people out there looking and saying, you know what? I don't feel comfortable right now. How do I start?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's 98, 99% of the people.
Right.
The three reasons why they don't get on camera or video is, one, they don't like how they look for some people. Two, they don't know what to say. Three, they're afraid what others are going to think of what they say on camera. They're afraid they're going to put a video out there. People are going to judge them. They're going to say something. They're going to get in trouble or whatever else. I'm here to tell you, you're going to get judged no matter what. And if you don't put out content, for one, as a business aspect, you're not going to be the best in your space. Like, you're losing out. You look at some of the people I work with or know, like the Grant Cardones or the Kevin Harringtons or the Gary Vaynerchuk, or all these people that are doing video at a high level. Like, they're doing video because they know it's the best opportunity to get their message out. So you just got to get over it. I mean, my first videos sucked. I'm sure your first videos were difficult. Like, you just got to do it. And the only way to get better is to keep creating content. And I tell people, this is how one thing that actually helps me with creating a lot of video. I've done so many videos and I've seen it impact people's lives. So I've seen it where a video I create, like, totally impacts somebody when they reach out to me and they say they need to hear that. Or two, I've seen it where the video turned into a huge sale. Every time before I press that button to go either live or to go create a video, and sometimes I don't want to, but I say to myself, Brandon, one view could change somebody's life. This next view could be my next $1 million deal. And so I have that mindset going into it, which makes me more motivated to do it when I least want to do it. So I think everybody else, when you're thinking about creating your video, think about, it's not about you. It's about who you could be helping. And it's about the potential deal that could come from the opportunity. So you got to get over the fact that you care too much about what people think. The whole thing is share who you are, share what you do, and share how you help people. That's it. And do it consistently. And share your advice, share everything up here. And when you do that enough, you're going to be seen as the expert in your space, where people go to you versus somebody else.
Love that, man. And I love the fact, at the end of the day, that, you know, when I do the introduction about, you know, understanding 2004 versus 2020, and the biggest difference I see, besides the technical aspects of things, is the realness, right? Yeah. So I share this story a lot, even from stage. Is one of my first Monster Motivator TV episodes I did was with a local real estate agent that I knew. So we went to his office. We got all, and Monster Motivator TV was never recorded. It was always Facebook Live. So wow. We were, right? We set up the camera, went live. We didn't get 2 words out. The camera fell, tumbled off, still stayed on. I'm fumbling, trying to get it. People had the best responses because they connect to that, because now they see themselves. Yeah. I connect with them, right? They connect with me because I'm real, right? The cameras fall in real life. You trip and fall in real life. Exactly. That's what people want. They want to see that. Once they see that vulnerability, you become bulletproof. They heard me laughing, and the poor real estate guy, this was brand new to him. He was scared to death. I go, come on, man, let's go. We're still rolling. And he's, and then after you could see the relief in his face once we got past that. And then he just rolled with it. And he did awesome, man. So it's all about, and here's the other thing too. And I'd love to go deeper with you on this. And you talked about this, is judgment, right? Here's what I tell people. You know, I wrote a book. It's called Fearless is Bullshit. Right?
I love that title.
And at the end of the day, what people have to understand is we are human beings. I'm going to judge. You're going to judge on first appearance. I get judged every single day. Look at this musclehead, bald guy with tattoos and a pit bull walking down the street. I get judged every day, right?
Yeah.
Your only job, once you embrace that statement, your only job is to make him accurate.
Yep.
And the only way to make him accurate is to bring you. That's it. That's it, man. Just make him accurate. And when you can embrace that, it takes all the pressure off. I've had people, I used to own a sports nutrition store out here in Southern California. I've had people come in, and I'm behind the counter, a tank top on, I'm all tatted up and all that. And they come in after a few minutes, or we're talking, trying to figure out what their goals are, they go, man, you're so much nicer than we thought. I said, oh, thank you. I said, so is my dog. They start to laugh. I even had one guy that we became really good friends and we trained together. He was an ex-detective. And he says, you're so much smarter than I thought. I said, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. So I love that you went there, dude, because it's everything, right?
Yeah,
it is absolutely everything. So love that, man. So you also talked about working specifically with real estate people, real estate agents. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for anybody listening, whether you're in real estate or not, everything I teach applies to all realms when it comes to video. But I've just started working with agents even more so because, for one, when we did one of our TV shows, Success in Your City, 50% of the sponsorship beyond my pocket came from real estate agents around the country. And so we went to these different cities, we filmed, and they helped fund the production of our show. And so I realized that a lot of real estate agents suck at building their brand. And also they don't know how to market themselves. So what I've done is I've worked a lot of agents on really showing how to create content, but also bring people in their life and build like and trust with their audience. So as a real estate agent, people buy, the potential customer buys and works for the agent they like, trust, and know. As any entrepreneur, other people watching you, they will buy from who they like, trust, and know. So what I show people is how to build a lot of like and trust. And how do you do that? Through video. But it's beyond just sharing business tips. It's bringing them inside your life and showing who you are as a person. So like when you get to show them, like we can connect on different levels in terms of me sharing maybe about whether I had kids, or sharing about I'm from Iowa, I'm from a small town, or I grew up in a family business. These are all potential commonality connection points between me and the viewers. And those viewers, what happens is they ultimately will connect with you, and they may not need your services now, but when they do, they'll go to you, or they'll tell somebody about you. I look at I've worked with so many different people, and I'll say, hey, what was the reason why you worked with me, or what did you like most? And the people will say, I've connected you on a different level. And they would mention things about something I sent a video prior that made them connect to me. Whether I like the fact you're from Iowa, you're a small town boy, like I can trust you. Or I connected because I too grew up in a family business, so I can connect with you. So finding those ways to really share your story so your audience can connect with you on a deeper level, which then turns into an eventual business relationship.
Love that. And the other thing that we can talk about too, that I'm such a, because it's really life 101 is, and it pertains to video marketing, video branding, or even physical stages, is just show up with that pure intention. Pure intention is the superpower, right? Pure intention gets through the door before you do. They feel that whether or not, and I ask people that, I said, you walk into a car dealership and all of a sudden three sales guys come right up to you, right? And they want to do business with you. And automatically there's two that are just, you completely shut off. There's an energy there. And then happens to be one that you just like, okay. All right, let me listen a little more. And I believe that's just the pure intention, either coming out or not. And I think that's so important, right?
People can read that from you.
Yes,
feel it. They can smell bullshit a mile away. If you're just a slimy person that wants to sell something and they don't give a fuck about what you think or anything. Like, here's the thing. Like, people connect to people, and when you can show that you really care and you really want to help them, they will trust you, and then they will spend 10, 20 grand. They'll spend a lot of money with you because they trust you. And then when you actually back it up with a great product or service, then that leads to a happy customer. It leads to referrals. Just be genuine, man. Just be vulnerable. Share who you are. Let people know who you are and what you stand for, and they'll buy into that.
Love that, man. And so give us a few little golden nuggets that you help these real estate agents out in today's world, and maybe one or two things that you see that they're still behind the times with.
For one, creating content, not picking up the phone and publishing content. It doesn't have to be perfect. Two, I've seen a lot of agents and a lot of individuals who are not on LinkedIn. That doesn't make sense to me. LinkedIn is a huge opportunity. It's even more so becoming a more opportunity with social media. So at least filling out your profile. You know, when people don't fill out their profiles, and when people go to see you, like you said, we're judging, right?
Yep.
Give them a good judgment. So if they can't, within the first 3 to 5 seconds, know, well, first off, this person's a good person, or two, like, how can they help me? So people, what they post on social media, people post random things. They won't have things filled out in their profile. They may have some weird pictures, or it's always pictures of them going out and drinking, which nothing wrong. I have a beer here and there, but what happens is the first impression. So for example, let's say a real estate agent has their Facebook profile, and let's say it's just a picture of them and a random cover photo and a few pictures of them again, and then they post a couple pictures that are with them drinking with friends. So when I go to that page, the first thing that my mind goes to is, well, I can't really tell they sell real estate. And two, why would they be showing my house on the weekends? They're probably going to be drinking with their friends. And that may not be the truth, but that's where my mind goes.
Yep.
So to switch that up, have a cover photo that has a house on the background and a sold sign. Have a high quality profile picture. In your profile section where you have the 9 selected photos, have 3 or 4 of those photos showing you with people and homes being sold. Have a couple with your family, and then post stuff that's around real estate, and then also you as a person. Give people that first impression where they know what you do and how they can help you. So that's the biggest thing. That first impression is so much. That's what my life consists of, is awareness and first impressions and building high quality relationships. And if you repeat that and keep doing those things, it leads to some big deals. For me, I advise companies. I advise 6 companies right now. And my fee is I get paid monthly, and I also get stock in the company. And so those are my big deals that I want to get. But the only way to get there is, again, building enough trust with the right people and that first impression. When they go and check out before they're going to work with me, they check out my profile pictures and they check out my content, and they okay, is this somebody we want to be representing our company? So I think we all should look at how are we representing ourselves and the people we're working with.
Love that. And I think, and I know you're going to be able to go deeper on something like this, is everything you just shared. What we definitely want to drive home at this point, I think, is I'm a big believer in this, man. And it has to be a win-win, right? That's the long-term game. So if me and you were doing business and you're not winning, but I am, doesn't work. Vice versa.
Doesn't.
And in order for that to happen, you know, I know there's a lot of people in that world that love to call themselves closers, right? I'm the closer. I'm going to close. I'd rather consider myself an opener. I want to open up that door for a relationship, right? Yeah. For that long game versus, and how you do that is not throw up on people with, you know, aerial shots of this new listing that you have, right? A virtual, you know, constant the feed of selling and selling and selling, instead of, man, we just had a family get in their first home and 3 banks wouldn't okay them, and we got them on the 4th bank, man. And let me do a little.
That's a good point.
Let me do a little, throw my camera up and say, hey, Brandon, just share with us what your experience was, right? How did you feel, right? And you're going to be there with you, your wife, and your kids, and this is your first home, or this is your first investment property, and I had 3 or 4 banks just laugh at me. Then Brandon came along, shared his resources, and boom, here it is.
Those are the kind of stories you want to share on social media too. That's testimonial from the real experience from somebody that got the life-changing experience from you.
Yes. And here's the other thing, right? It's again, business 101, and how the difference between a real entrepreneur and a make-believe. Figure it out, right? So now, if you know that you have this sweet story coming up, because we're starting to struggle here, I go to Brandon, hey, listen, I'll work out something with you on my commission if you allow us to bring our video team and travel right through this journey with you.
Exactly.
Right? How do we create a win-win, right? And that's, again, that's I think that the power of the times we're living in, and I'd love you to go deeper on that, man.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I mean, people buy from people, and when you can get your clients to share their experience, I always tell my clients, because I coach some teams where every week I'll do a call with 30 agents in some of the biggest real estate teams in the country. And so I'll give them a goal for the week. And one of them's like, okay, I'll say, when you go into the closing, you're done, get them to share their experience on camera of what it was like. And just let them talk. Press play and let them talk. And you'll be surprised. For one, you'll get feedback that'll make you realize like what they really enjoyed more than other things. But they'll pour their heart out, given that you gave them a great experience. And then you put that on social media, and that will help sell what you're doing. It's like you look at the infomercial industry. Kevin Harrington's a good friend of mine, a mentor, and he's the guy that he came up with the infomercial. And Kevin's done over 5 billion in sales, and I've studied him more than many people. I've seen him work firsthand on things. And the one thing I learned from him is it's that transformation. It's that magical transformation in people. You see before, you see after, and you see the confidence they got built from that. You see the win that they experienced. You see the better feeling they have, or you see the better success, or whatever it is. It's on the other side. So showing that transformation in people see that and they say, I want to be that person. I want to get that transformation, or I want to have that home buying experience. And so the more you can show that, the more you're going to convert your sales, the more you're going to get people reaching out to you and wanting to work with you.
I love that. And a little hack that I found over the years too is because you want to keep it as real and as raw as you can. And look, most people, once they see you turn that on, they still freeze up, right? They still limit themselves. The other thing you could do, if you have the resources available, is film the realness, but you're not going to post it or share it until after you get that okay from the person. But you got it as now as real and as raw and as live. So if you set up a testimonial meeting without them knowing that you're recording, then you stop the recording, but you get their okay, you get their blessing. That's
it. The biggest thing, because I mean, when we filmed our shows, we'd have 5 people. There'd be 7 people on set, and people sitting down and they're talking on camera, 3 camera angles, and the quickest way, like if you want to get the best out of them, you got to make them feel comfortable. That's literally make the person feel comfortable. And there's different ways depending on the person. So like, let's say the person, they enjoy, I'm just throwing this out here. They enjoy riding horses. So the person enjoys riding horses, and you find that out in the few questions you ask them. And by the way, the cameras are rolling. This is like if we're doing a TV show or if we're doing a documentary, the cameras are rolling. You don't let them know the cameras are rolling, but they're there. It's not like, hey, we're filming now, let's go. It's like they're filming. Now I'm going to ask this question. So, hey, tell me about riding horses. And they start talking about them. And then you ask them more about that, and they're lighting up because they love riding horses. So like they're sharing an experience that they love, and you can see it. And then you start leading that conversation into the questions you really want to ask. And so they're like primed to be great on camera. And then once you get to those questions asked, so you go deeper and deeper and deeper, then you get the content. And then for some people, then you'll be like, okay, we're done. And they'll be like, what? Cameras were going? So it's like, you got to get them into a place where they feel comfortable. So you got to really speak to them and speak their language. And then when you do that, that's when you'll get the things that you want. Same goes for interview. The best content comes from questions you didn't plan on the interview. It comes from the content that leads from what they say. Then you dig deeper into that. So
love that.
Make them feel comfortable.
I love that, man. That's a great hack. And at the end of the day, when someone feels comfortable, they're just going to keep it. They're just going to get in that zone, right? Keep that flow. So that being said, what do you have coming up? Do you have anything?
Yeah.
Exciting?
So Yeah, excite. Every day is a new day, right? As I got a book coming out. It's already, I've sold it myself, but it's coming out in bookstores September 22nd. It's called
Awesome.
The Road to Success. My wife and I wrote it together. We got the second episode of our TV show Success in Your City coming out in 28 days.
And where can they see that?
Yes, they can. Amazon Prime. It's going to be releasing July 30th on Amazon Prime. The TV series is called Success in Your City. So that's coming out. And I would say I'm speaking somewhere sometime soon, but I don't think that's happening until 2021.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I have a lot of events that someone paid me and they haven't even told me when their future date is.
Yeah.
And I've had some that rescheduled 2021, but yeah, you can see my book. You can check out my book. You can check out my show, and you can find me on social media at Brandon C. Adams.
Love it, man. I love it. And I want to thank you for taking the time to come on. And yeah, man, I love it. And yeah, if so, they could just find you. You're on all the platforms, right?
All platforms at Brandon C. Adams.
Love it, man.
Search Brandon C. Adams.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, let's see what the rest of 2020 brings us, man. It's been an interesting ride. It's been an interesting ride so far. Anything else that that you want to mention before we do jump off?
Yeah, I guess I'll say this. I mean, no matter what you do, if we're in a world now that you have to be digital, you really do. And you're hearing this from a kid that I grew up in a small town. When I go home, see my parents, they don't have internet. So I didn't grow up I wasn't a city boy or any of that. So I'm here to tell you, sometimes I don't like creating the content, but I do it because it's the name of the game. It's the game of life. So if you want to be the best in your business, you got to utilize digital. You got to create video content. If you want to impact people, if you want to create a movement, you got to tell great stories. The best way to create a great story is through a video. So utilizing video marketing, utilizing storytelling to become really good at what you do, that's my business tips. But in life, you got to do what you love. Like even myself, I've traveled the country. I've lived in different cities. I've won Emmy Awards. I've made millions, lost millions. I've seen a lot, and I've been in rooms with some of the most successful people in the world. But if I were going to give you any kind of life advice, it's first figure out what success even means to you. And it changes as we get older. And so first, what is success to you, at least in that time frame? And then once you figure out what that is, and not you, it's what means to you, not somebody else. It's about you. So what makes you happy? What is your version of success? And then once you figure that out, go all in on that. Go all in on that own endeavor. Don't live your life on somebody else's terms. Do it on your own terms. And I found when you do that, you'll be happy. You'll be really happy. You'll enjoy life.
I love it, man. We speak the same language, man. It's I use that term so much. What is success for you? And when people ask me that, it's living life on my terms, right? And whatever that means for you, like you said, and whatever that means for you at that point in your life, because hopefully you are growing, evolving, and moving forward. Because that's what this journey is all about. But yeah, man, I want to thank you for taking the time, bringing those golden nuggets, and bringing a unique flavor to it, man. I love it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. I love it. So, guys, as always, you're going to get golden nuggets out of this. Feel free to share it. Get on our YouTube. We're going to be blasting these out on our social media platforms. And as always, we do it one way around here, Monster Motivator style, baby.